classrooms, and transition planning for students with disabilities. I'll also explain how this topic connects to a work-based learning lesson plan that uses a retail setting to teach academic and workplace life skills. I chose this topic because inclusion has become one of the most important ideas in modern education, especially in special education. The goal of inclusion is to make sure students with disabilities are given opportunities to learn alongside their peers whenever possible, instead of being separated from the classroom environment. This connects directly with the idea of least restrictive environment, or LRE, which is a major principle in special education law. The overall purpose of inclusion is not just academic success, it's also about helping students develop confidence, communication, skills, independence, and relationships with others. I chose this topic because it's important for teachers to understand that students with disabilities benefit from meaningful participation in real learning environments. Inclusive education helps students feel like they belong in the classroom community instead of feeling separated or isolated. Research shows that students with disabilities can improve academically, socially, and emotionally when they are included in classrooms with proper supports. At the same time, students without disabilities also benefit because inclusion teaches understanding, empathy, patience, and cooperation. I also chose this topic because schools are continuing to move toward more inclusive models and transition focused instruction. That means future educators need to know how to support students with different learning needs while still maintaining a positive and productive classroom. As a future teacher, I want to better understand how to create learning environments that prepare students for life after graduation, not just for passing tests. One major issue related to this topic is that students with disabilities are not always fully prepared for real-world situations after high school. Many students leave school without enough opportunities to practice practical life and workplace skills. For example, students may learn math in a classroom, but they may not get opportunities to apply those skills in situations like budgeting, handling money, or working with customers. Another problem is that some students with disabilities are still separated from general education activities or career experiences. When students are excluded from those opportunities, it can affect their confidence and limit their preparation for adulthood. This is why transition planning is so important. Transition planning helps students prepare for employment, post secondary education, and independent living after graduation. Without meaningful transition opportunities, students may struggle to find jobs, communicate effectively in workplaces, or become independent adults. This topic has a major impact on both education and special education because it changes the way teachers think about student success. Success should not only be measured by grades or test scores, but it should be measured by whether students are developing life skills they can actually use in their everyday lives. Inclusive education encourages collaboration between teachers, support staffs, families, and students. It also encourages teachers to use differentiated instruction and accommodations so students with different needs can learn together. Transition focused instruction helps students to build independence, self advocacy skills, communication skills, and career readiness. These are all essential skills for adulthood. This topic also impacts schools because schools have a responsibility to prepare students for life after graduation, including employment and community involvement. My lesson plan connects directly to this topic because it uses a retail work-based learning setting to teach both academic and workplace instruction skills. In the lesson, students participate in a simulated retail environment where they act as cashiers and customers. Students practice math skills by calculating totals, handling money, and determining change during transactions. They also practice communication skills by greeting customers and asking questions and responding professionally. This lesson is also important because it shows students how classroom skills connect to real life situations. Instead of planning complete instead of simply completing worksheets, students are applying math communication skills in a realistic setting. This type of learning can improve engagement because students often understand concepts better when they use them in real world, everyday life activities. The lesson also supports inclusion because students with disability participate alongside peers while receiving accommodations and support when needed. To improve student outcomes, teachers can begin by creating more real world learning opportunities in the classroom. For example, teachers can use simulations like classroom stores, mock interviews, or collaborative projects connected to careers. These activities show students the ability to practice both academic and social skills at the same time. Teachers can also use transition assessments and interest inventories to help students explore careers that match their interests and strengths. When students feel connected to what they are learning, they are often more motivated and engaged. Another important strategy is providing accommodations and support so all students can participate successfully. This could also include visual supports, sentence stems, peer support, calculators, or voice to text technology. At the school level, students should continue expanding inclusive programs and work-based learning opportunities. This includes partnerships with local businesses where students can participate in internships, job shadowing, or workplace experiences. These opportunities help students build confidence and prepare for future employment. Students should also provide professional development for teachers so they understand inclusive practices and transition planning strategies. At the community level, businesses and organizations can support inclusive activities by creating welcoming environments for people with disabilities. When schools and communities work together, students are more likely to experience successful transitions into adulthood. In conclusion, inclusive classrooms and transition planning play an important role in helping students with disabilities succeed both inside and outside of school. Inclusion helps students build academic skills, communication skills, confidence, and relationships. Transition focused instruction and work based learning helps students connect classroom learning to real life experiences. My lesson plan demonstrated how academic skills like math and communication can be taught in a retail work-based learning environment. By continuing to improve inclusive practices and provide meaningful workplace experiences, educators can prepare students for independence and future success. And ultimately, that is one of the most important goals of education.